So when it was reported that Argentina's new president, Javier Milei, was going to be speaking at the WEF, the World Economic Forum, I did see some chatter on social media about plant, puppet, phony, fraud, all of that. I suspected he was probably going to pull a Trump on him.
Regulation is stealth taxation.
Now, his whole speech was about 20 plus minutes, and you can find that easily on social media. But I'm just going to show you one clip here.
Now, if free enterprise capitalism and economic freedom have proven to be extraordinary instruments to end poverty in the world, and we are now at the best time in the history of humanity, it is worth asking why I say that the West is endangered. And I say this precisely because in those of our countries that should defend the values of the free market, private property, and the other institutions of libertarianism, sectors of the political and economic establishment, some due to mistakes in their theoretical framework and others due to a greed for power, are undermining the foundations of libertarianism, opening up the doors to socialism and potentially condemning us to poverty, misery, and stagnation. It should never be forgotten that socialism is always and everywhere an impoverishing phenomenon that has failed in all countries where it's been tried out. It's been a failure economically, socially, culturally, and it also murdered over 100 million human beings. The essential problem in the West today is not just that we need to come to grips with those who, even after the fall of the Berlin Wall and the overwhelming empirical evidence, continue to advocate for impoverishing socialism. But there's also our own leaders, thinkers, and academics who, relying on a misguided theoretical framework, undermine the fundamentals of the system that has given us the greatest expansion of wealth and prosperity in our history. The dilemma faced by the neoclassical model is that they say they wish to perfect the functioning of the market by attacking what they consider to be failures. But in so doing, they don't just open up the doors to socialism, but also go against economic growth.
So what is he talking about? You know, the best time in human history. Well, let's take a look at global GDP per capita over the last 2,000 years. Well, as you can see, it's pretty much just a flat line right up until the Industrial Revolution, and then it shoots up. So what we had right through human history was 95% of people in the world being desperately poor, and now we're at about 5% of people in the world at that same level of poverty. Socialism didn't do that, which is why socialist countries before and now are poor, unless they pivot like China has, having capitalism with Chinese characteristics. And those characteristics are authoritarianism, which I think is where the good people at the WEF, the World Economic Forum, really want things to go.
I respect China's achievements, which are tremendous over the last over 40 years. I think it's a role model for many countries.
Is the World Economic Forum trolling us or something? Like they couldn't find a guy who would seem less likely to be building a death ray on the moon? Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Please subscribe, like, and share. Sharing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.